Hi and welcome back. Today we're talking about cardiovascular exercise. Some people love it, others hate it. Either way, it's an integral part of health and fitness. In the fitness industry, cardiovascular exercise is often overutilized or underutilized. Besides the endorphin high that you get through cardiovascular exercise, it provides you with sensational results in reference to your respiratory system and your circulatory system. It strengthens the heart and lungs and it has a very positive effect on your lymphatic system as well. If you have type 2 diabetes or are headed that way, cardiovascular exercise, and actually exercise in general, can help you to reduce the blood sugar levels in your body. Now, with this being said, cardiovascular exercise isn't the be-all and end-all of exercise. It's simply another skill set, it's another spoke in the wheel. And similar to strength training, you don't need to do huge bouts and huge intense bouts of cardiovascular exercise to receive the benefits. So cardiovascular exercise can be done in three basic ways. You can exercise your vascular system on a treadmill or using machines at the gym like a stationary bike, an elliptical, etc. You can use your body weight to perform cardiovascular exercises in the form of jogging. You can do some mountain climbers, step-ups, etc. Or you can use a more enjoyable form of cardiovascular exercise, which could be something more recreational, like playing tennis or badminton. So there you have it. Now we understand that there are three basic forms of cardio, and what I recommend is starting out with the form of cardiovascular exercise that you enjoy the most. While all cardiovascular exercises share the same basic benefits, the amount of calories that you burn performing those exercises and the respiratory gains that you receive will depend on two things, and those two things are consistency, how often you do it, and intensity, how hard you're doing it. Now we could sit here and talk about all the various methods of performing cardiovascular exercise, but I like to simplify things and I like to make things achievable and rewarding instantly so that those benefits can be received. Also, through experience, I've understood that most people do not like doing endurance-based cardiovascular exercises. That is running for 5 kilometers or being on an elliptical or a bicycle in the gym for 30 minutes at a time. Apart from the boredom once again, but they can be quite draining on the system. So what I lean towards as a trainer and as an individual who trains cardiovascular myself is I like to perform what they call interval training. Interval training, let's make the example of being on a tennis court. You will play a rally, then you'll stop and rest before making your way back to the baseline to serve the next rally. So that would be an example of interval training. High intensity for a few moments, it could be a minute, it could be 30 seconds, it could be 4 minutes, but either way there's a period of rest. There's a period of downtime for your body to rest and recuperate. You could be walking up a mountain where the mountain is quite steep, so you give it a good go for a few minutes, wait till you become fatigued, wait till you become a little exhausted, then take a rest. Allow the body to catch up, get the respiratory to catch up, breathe a little bit before taking on that next bout of exercise. In the gym, with body weight exercise or on the machines, you can replicate that same ideal of interval training where you're pedaling away on a bike for a couple of minutes at a higher intensity. You're waiting for those fatigue levels to kick in. Once they do, you kick back down, have a rest, allow the body to recover before going again. In my eyes, it's a lot more pleasurable. The results, in my opinion, are better because you're doing it in a reasonable fashion. You're allowing the body to rest and recover. That's very, very reasonable. It's a lot different from somebody telling you, you must jog for 10 minutes on the treadmill without stopping. That's not reasonable. The body has to come to the party, and it's got to come to the party slowly and in its own time. And the way you're going to achieve these higher levels, better fitness, is simply by being consistent. So the more often you partake in some cardiovascular exercise, short bouts, the better and quicker you will get fit. In conclusion, I enjoy fusing my cardiovascular training with my strength training. Now this creates enormous benefits because you burn more total calories for the session, you get the respiratory results, and you get the resistance or the strength results. So that could mean going over to the cable row machine, for example, performing a set of cable row. You may do that for 15 or 20 repetitions. Then you step aside and do a cardiovascular exercise of your choice for about a minute or a minute and a half. Now that cardiovascular exercise, for example, could be some quick step ups. Reach your threshold, get your huff and your puff on before coming back down and resting. Then all you have to do is repeat that sequence all over again. And you can use this technique with multiple exercises. Pair up some strength exercises with some cardio exercises and simply alternate them. One strength, one cardio. Therefore, you only need a short amount of time. 20 minutes of that kind of training will give you the biggest bang for buck. You will feel refreshed at the end of it. You'll have a high circulation happening in your body. The respiratory system, the muscular system will all be going for it. They'll all be stimulated at the one time. So I highly recommend it, and you can try that later on as you become more familiar with the exercises. As usual, it's an absolute pleasure. I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in.